I used to want to be, before I found God, I used to want to be a model, I used to want to be a filmmaker, I used to want to be an actress, I used to want to go to Hollywood. I wanted all these things, all these materialistic things. But deep inside me, like, if I went shopping or something, I'd be like, well, why do we need this, you know? Why do we need this? So I've always had that kind of thing in my brain, but I've always tried to go against it kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but I've always been different. I've never fitted in anywhere. I remember once when I was like 12 or something, I started reading the Bible for some reason. I don't know why. And I remember I was going to steal some money from my parents. Like, it was like 50p or something, but still. And then I heard a voice in my head saying, don't do that. And that's what kind of kept my faith up all this time. Like, faith that God is there, but I've always pushed it away. But, so I've always given my life. I'm kind of a person that lives for love, you know. I dedicate myself truly to a person. I've only been in love like twice, I think, but I've always dedicated myself completely. I give up everything for that person. So I've always wanted to find someone who would die for me, you know, who would love me equally back. And I guess he was there all along because of Jesus. Jesus is here. So I turned to him, and he's making me see so many things. And at first I used to be an atheist, and I used to try and come up with literally all the arguments you can think of to try and prove that Jesus, like, doesn't exist. I was that kind of person. At school, I didn't get kicked out, but I was always in isolation. And I was a kind of kid that just wrote the date on their book and nothing else. I didn't regret my school days over. Okay, so I was trying to find God, but this is only recently, by the way. I was trying to find him, and I was trying so hard, and I could feel nothing, and I was so jealous of everyone that could find him. So what I did was, I remember I tried to fast, but I didn't realise you weren't supposed to tell people this. So I was trying to fast, and I remember I just gave up because I thought, well, nothing's working, but I really didn't want to give up. But I just went downstairs and ate loads of junk food, and then I just came upstairs and I started crying because, yeah, you know, I was really ashamed of myself. So then I thought, right, that's it, I'm doing this seriously now. So what I did was, I went on YouTube and I said, how can Jesus save me? I typed it in, and I came across this video. I will link it down to anyone. And I watched it. I said the prayer, which it says to say, and I honestly say I felt God's presence. I felt this tingling feeling in me. I felt like I'd acknowledged what I'd done wrong when I was trying to seek God. I acknowledged everything, and I finally felt accepted. I knew God had accepted me, and as well as like bringing a tear to my eye, because I remember just thinking to myself, why would he accept me when I'd gone against his word again, and I'd redone my sins, and this was like yesterday or something. And then I remember I just felt it, and then when the man on the video said that like all the angels were dancing because, you know, somebody's soul's been saved, I started crying and crying, and I was like laughing at the same time. Oh god, I sound crazy. To everyone that thinks God doesn't exist, come up with all these arguments, blah blah blah, try it. That's all I'm saying. And you will feel it if you mean it. You'll feel it if you mean it. Wow, I'm a poet.